want to know, what do we have in common?
Yes.
And why do you choose to do what you do and live your life like you live your life?
Yep. I think that's explained in that book quite well. But
in this book?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Essentially, from an Islamic perspective, not everyone shares this view, but generally, what we do is that we would like to be people of reflection and thinking. For example, we believe in the book of the Quran, which we believe came from God, right? And we believe that we have good reasons for that. Now, the Quran has been interestingly described by scholars, Eastern and Western, as very intrusive, very imposing book. But the way it imposes itself is to agitate thinking in the human being and to really agitate the soul. You know, make us think, deal with that emotional capacity. And the way the Quran achieves this is by asking questions. For example, the Quran says, do you not reflect within yourself? Have you not seen that your inner dimensions? Look into the heavens and the earth, look into the cosmos, and you come to certain conclusions. So the way we form our conclusions is by thinking, which sounds quite funny, because generally humanists and atheists think, no, if you're going to think, you're going to move away from religion. But I think that's a Christian narrative, because in European history, I'm Greek for example, especially in Greece, we still have a clash between church and state. In the Middle Ages, we had the Catholic Church really using the forceful arm of the state to prevent people from having discussion and thinking. Islamic history doesn't really share that. It doesn't have that correlation. So we need to see each tradition as the tradition speaks for itself, rather than saying, if Christianity is like this, therefore Islam must be like this because it's a religion as well. However, to define who God is, we believe God is one. He's uniquely one. He's eternal. He's independent. He's immaterial, meaning there's nothing that resembles him. He's transcendent. We don't believe he's a man with a big beard. We don't have that narrative. And we believe that nothing is like him. In the Arabic, it's laysa kamithlihi shay. Nothing is like him. So he's transcendental. He's beyond matter. He's beyond the universe. So this is how we define God in a very simple way. He's one. He's uniquely one. He is eternal. He's independent. Everything depends on him, and he's unlike the universe. So we have a very interesting approach, and it's in line with, if you like, conceptual analysis and philosophy, where if we know the universe was caused, then it must have been caused by something outside of the universe. So, do you see? It must have been all-powerful, it must be independent, it must be uncaused, because it's absurd to have an infinite regress of causes. All these issues. So the issue is, this is how we define God, and the bigger definition of God, in terms of who he is, we find in the Quran itself. For example, the Quran says God is al-wudud, which means excessively loving. And the Prophet Muhammad would say that God loved you more than your mother. Yeah? We say now, do we have good reasons to believe in this book called the Quran? And this is what we say. Do we have good reasons to believe? And then humbly,
what are the reasons?
Well, the reasons are quite a few. First and foremost, we believe that the statements in the Quran, statements within this book, take Andreas. Have you seen it? Yeah, definitely. The statements within this book that are signposts to the supernatural, because we can't explain them naturalistically. This is the fundamental view that we have.